Betrayal shakes us at our core. It is one of those experiences that can leave us feeling exposed and uncertain about our own judgment. We place our trust in someone, believing they share our goals, values, or feelings, only to discover they have used our openness against us. It hurts deeply, but this pain holds a lesson we should not ignore. When we confront betrayal head-on, we learn about human nature, our own weaknesses, and the unseen conflicts that may arise in any close relationship. This knowledge can become our shield against future hurts and our compass to handle tricky situations with more insight. Even though betrayal stings, do not let it put you in a constant state of suspicion. Instead, think of it as a sign that you missed or overlooked important clues about someone's true intentions. It might be their sudden change in attitude, a telling comment you brushed aside, or a pattern of small acts you excused as minor. The shock of betrayal often comes because we place too much faith in words while ignoring actions. But once you process what happened, you can use that pain to become more alert. You will start noticing subtle signs you once dismissed, learning to look beyond smiles and comforting promises. When betrayal hits, it is natural to feel anger or even shame for not seeing it coming. Yet you have to resist the urge to bury these feelings or lash out in a way that blinds you to the bigger picture. Pause and reflect on the relationships that led you here. How did this person gain your trust? Were there subtle warnings you shrugged off? Did you rush into trusting them without truly knowing their background or motives? These questions might be uncomfortable, but they're the key to understanding how the betrayal unfolded and how to guard against it in the future. One important lesson is to accept that everyone around you has their own goals and hidden dreams. These might clash with your best interests at times. That does not mean you must treat everyone as a villain. Instead, realize that people are driven by personal needs, and in certain moments, those needs can override loyalty. With that in mind, build your alliances on mutual respect and a clear understanding of each other's strengths, weaknesses, and ambitions. Open your eyes to the subtle power plays that happen in any close connection, and see them not as shocking betrayals waiting to happen, but as part of the human environment we all share. Betrayal can also reveal a great deal about who you are when faced with conflict. Some people respond with quick retaliation while others withdraw or try to bury the anger. Neither extreme is helpful. Lashing out can lock you into a cycle of hostility, turning potential allies into permanent foes. On the other hand, retreating often invites further manipulation. A better approach is to keep your composure, gather information, and think strategically. When you react with calm clarity, you are already in a stronger position because you are not letting anger or panic cloud your view. You are giving yourself the chance to decide if you should forgive and rebuild trust, or if you should cut ties and move on with more caution. Rising stronger after betrayal also means knowing when to let go. Not every slight is worth your energy. If the relationship no longer serves your best interests, or if the trust is broken beyond repair, it may be best to walk away with grace. Doing so frees you from distractions and allows you to refocus your resources on healthier connections. Yet, be careful not to let the memory of that betrayal dominate your thoughts. Learn from it, but do not let it define your entire outlook. People sense bitterness and resentment. If you carry that around, you risk poisoning new relationships and losing valuable opportunities to build better alliances. Sometimes betrayal feels like an attack on our very identity. We might start questioning our self-worth and our ability to judge character. That is why it is so important to use this painful event as motivation to grow. Ask yourself, how can I improve my sense of boundaries, my awareness of other people's actions, and my understanding of social dynamics? Imagine creating an inner set of rules for how you choose the people you trust. These rules might include taking more time to assess their actions over words, observing how they treat others in their life, and gradually letting them earn deeper levels of trust. This does not mean shutting people out. It means building a stable foundation that is less likely to crack under sudden pressure. Your emotions in the aftermath of betrayal are vital signals too. That surge of hurt or fury is a sign that you cared strongly about the person or the situation. Rather than trying to suppress those emotions, think of them as a wake-up call. They remind you that you are capable of deep loyalty and high expectations, which are strengths when given to the right people. The betrayal highlights how much you value honesty and alignment in a partnership. Let that knowledge guide you in choosing who deserves your commitment and who should remain at arm's length. Consider examples from history or stories you have heard. Often we see two types of responses to betrayal: revenge or personal growth. Those who fixate on revenge may feel a short rush of satisfaction if they succeed, but it often leaves them stuck in bitterness. Meanwhile, those who channel their anger into learning and self-improvement come out wiser and more able to navigate complicated social terrain. They do not let the act of betrayal define them or consume their future. Instead, they become more discerning, more strategic, and more focused on what truly matters. Another benefit of surviving betrayal is the strength of character it can inspire. Enduring the loss of trust can harden you in a good way, making you less naive about others' intentions. This new awareness can act like armor, protecting you from repeating the same mistakes. Over time, you learn to read people with greater skill, to keep your emotions in check until you have measured someone's loyalty, and to hold your own feelings with care. You can emerge with a balanced mindset that blends caution with open-mindedness, which is a powerful way to handle all kinds of relationships. Betrayals also happen in professional settings. Perhaps a colleague took credit for your work, or a partner in a project misled you about their efforts. In these cases, the emotional weight might be mixed with concerns about reputation and lost opportunities, but the principle remains: step back, analyze what went wrong, and safeguard yourself moving forward. Be more careful with the information you share, the responsibilities you assign, and the agreements you enter. Strengthen your own abilities so you do not rely too heavily on people who might not have your best interests in mind. Sometimes forging ahead on your own, or with a smaller circle of trusted collaborators, can give you the space to excel without fear of repeated deception. If you decide to continue a relationship after a betrayal, keep your eyes open for change. Anyone can slip up once, and sometimes they truly regret it. Observe their actions carefully. If they show genuine effort to rebuild your trust, if they respect new boundaries, and if they seem to learn from their mistake, then reconciliation might be possible. But if you see the same patterns of behavior and no effort to make amends, you have your answer. Do not let a desire for harmony blind you to persistent signs of manipulation. Forgiveness can be wise, but forgetting might lead to repeating the same painful lessons. In the end, betrayal can serve as a rough but effective teacher. It strips away illusions and forces us to see people and situations as they are, not as we want them to be. The sting is a signal to become more observant, to refine our approach to trust, and to grow a bit tougher in the face of life's challenges. It reminds us to be aware of power dynamics, hidden agendas, and subtle shifts in mood or behavior. With time, we can transform the disappointment and anger into clarity and resilience. You do not have to let betrayal turn you into a cold or fearful person. Instead, you can decide to come out of it stronger, less prone to quick judgments, and more in control of how you interact with others. By turning your wounds into lessons, you become the sort of individual who navigates complex relationships with a quiet confidence. You no longer live in denial of how things truly work, nor do you fall into the trap of endless suspicion. You simply see people's actions more clearly, act according to your goals, and protect yourself with knowledge instead of naivety. That is how you rise stronger after being stung by betrayal.